Okay, so I am not a memorizer to save my soul. And so, I have some tips and tricks for memorizing ions that might or might not be helpful. You have a lot of ions to memorize. Most of these are easy, especially like these guys right here, iron 3. These guys are easy because the Roman numeral is the charge. I mean, a 2 means it's a 2 plus. That's not hard. A 3 means it's a 3 plus. That's not hard. Hydrogen is a group 1A element, so it's an H plus. The ones that are tricky are these ones here where it doesn't have a Roman numeral, and nickel. I think all the other ones have a Roman numeral. So there's a couple ways you could look at them. They're in the periodic table, and if you look at them in the periodic table, nickel's here, zinc's here, and silver's here. So it kind of looks like Mickey Mouse. And so these guys are both 2 pluses, and this guy is a 1 plus. He's got 1 face and 2 ears. See, if I put it together, it kind of looks like Mickey Mouse. That's one way. You could just remember silver is a 1 plus. You know AgNO3. We do AgNO3 for a lot of things. And then the other two, zinc and nickel, or zinc and nickel both have C's in them, so they're 2 plus. So chemistry is about finding relationships, finding patterns, okay? And the most successful chemistry people will be those people that can find patterns in things. So those guys aren't so bad. It's these guys over here on the right side that are a lot more tricky. Now, what I would do is I would memorize, hydroxide, kind of like hydrogen and oxide, hydroxide. Nitrate, though. Okay, so memorize your 8 ions. Oops, let's do this differently. Your 8 ions: phosphate, carbonate, sulfate, chlorate. Acetate is totally different. Ignore that one for a sec. Permanganate and chromate. Okay. Oxalate is a weird one. We don't use it all that often. We use it very rarely. But the 8 ions, there is a relationship there that could help you. If we go back to this list, they're just kind of in a random order. They're not alphabetical. There's no rhyme or reason to how these are organized. So instead, what I did is I took out and I organized them by charge. So these are -1s. These are -2s. And phosphate is the only -3. And then if you look at their actual ions, chlorate, ClO3, nitrate, NO3, permanganate, MnO4 minus, carbonate, chromate, sulfate, and phosphate. Okay, these are all -1s, -2s, -3. And then if you look at the subscript on the oxygen, it kind of makes a phone number. It's kind of a interesting phone number, but it's an easy phone number to remember. I know you guys don't have to memorize phone numbers anymore because they're all like programmed into your phones, but 334, so 334, 3444. So that gives you a way to kind of like organize. Oh, look, those are the subscripts. So this tells us what the subscripts are. I made up a whole thing with this. And then if you take the beginning of them all and you make a mnemonic, like a sentence out of them, then you can kind of memorize what order, and you can memorize which ones are in the 1 minuses, which ones are in the 2 minuses, which ones are 3 minus. So if you made up a mnemonic sentence with those guys, that might help you. When I was in college, phosphate, my roommate Jennifer used to work at a ice cream parlor that has phosphates. That was a kind of drink that there was that made phosphates, and she liked 4 scoops of ice cream or 3 scoops of ice cream. I mean, that was how, I had a whole story behind the ions that helped me remember what phosphate was. Okay, so once you've memorized the 8 version of an ion, you automatically kind of know the 8 version. So the 8 version, like nitrate, okay, the 8 version is just light 1 oxygen. So it's exactly the same, it's just 1 less oxygen, which makes it very easy when you go to do, you have all those chlorate ones, you have ClO4 1 minus, ClO3 minus, ClO2 minus, and ClO minus. I mean, it's like, which one's which, right? Well, you know ClO3 is your chlorate. And ClO2 is missing an oxygen, so that is chlorite. And I exaggerate the ends of them so it's easier to remember. Now you have perchlorate and you have hypochlorite. So that's like hyper and hypo. Hyper like means above. Hyper means above. So perchlorate is above chlorate. And so it has 1 more oxygen than chlorate does. And hypo, this means above. Oh, that's spelled wonderfully. Let's try that again. Hypo means below. So a hypodermic needle goes under the skin, okay? So this is hypo, and it's under chlorite, so it's hypochlorite. So there is a way to do your pers and your chlorates, chlorites, hypochlorite. That would help you out there. So from your mnemonic, you've already memorized chromate. So you know chromate is CrO4 2 minus. Now dichromate, di means 2. See these, there's a method to the madness. It's almost 2 chromates. It's almost 2 chromates. So it's Cr2, double that, O, and I said almost because it's Cr2O7. So it's almost twice as big, but it has the same charge. So the charge doesn't change. So at least it's 1 less thing you have to memorize. So it's almost 2 chromates. So these are some strategies that you can use to memorize your ions. There's other, NH4 plus. Natomas High School has 4 grades. Natomas High School has 4 grades, and they're all good. I made it up. That was one way I did it. Acetate. Okay, so acetate, they're giving it to you like this. I don't have a way to memorize that. There was another version of acetate that other people have used. These are saying the same thing. If you add up all the C2H3, if you add up all the subscripts, you'll see that it says these are 2 carbons, 3 hydrogens, 2 oxygens. These are saying the same thing. It's just this one's actually kind of better because it speaks to the structure of the acetate ion. And it's a weird ion. It's a hard one to remember. But we said come to help 3 or 2 more, or less. Sorry, less. So come to, help, 3, or 2, and then less. Those are little mnemonics like that. And so I have not even thought of how to do it with this one, but I leave that up to you. See if you can come to a way of memorizing acetate that way. You just know it's one of the weird ones, so you don't, you're like, acetate, oh, that one's hard. Oxalate, oh, that one's hard. How are you going to memorize C2O4 2 minus? How are you going to get oxalate out of that? Some about cows, I'm sure. Make something up. Cows have 2 or 4. I'm making it up. See, that's what you have to do. All right, good luck, you guys. You do have your test the first week of school, and you do need to know your ions. So good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.